Tupac and DR.DRE was fine in the beginning. Everything was great. I mean, you didn't see any problems. From the time that I worked there in 95 up until early 96, DR.DRE had been in the studio twice. Pac took offense to that.
He wasn't producing shit. Other niggas was producing the beats, like on my album. Other niggas was doing the beats, and Dre was getting the credit.
Das and all the other little producers and Assassin, all the ones we have, and they did the tracks. Dre wasn't doing the tracks, and Dre didn't write the lyrics.
Suge basically took on the role for Tupac that he had taken on for Dre, and I don't think it's a coincidence that at a certain point, you know, Tupac started becoming the mouthpiece for Suge and started dissing Dre.
He is a dope producer, but he ain't worked in years. I'm out here in the streets, you know what I mean, whooping niggas' ass, starting wars and shit, putting it down, dropping albums, doing my shit, and this nigga taking 3 years to do one song.
I just didn't like some of the things that were going on. There was nothing being done to stop it.
When Dr. Dre left Death Row Records, that was the biggest shock to me.
No longer Dre Day or even Dirt J.
Because I was real confused at how you start a label and you leave the label. I always figured if you had a problem with somebody on your label, you make them leave the label and you go on with what you're doing.
Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building, and this is Machiavelli Media. So the last video we did, right? You heard Harry O talk about the division that Suge Knight helped cause on his own record label by placing Tupac over everybody else. This right here is a follow-up to it. Without a shadow of a doubt, in my mind, Tupac was the deciding factor that made Dr. Dre say, fuck it, I'm out of here. Now, in Straight Outta Compton, in various different reenactments or documentaries, they always make it seem like it was the gangbang aspect that Suge Knight brought to Death Row that made Dr. Dre leave. Death Row became hostile. Death Row became violent. Okay, you can say that, but I could argue that Death Row was founded on violence and being hostile. See, that's why Dr. Dre brought Suge Knight on to get him out of that Ruthless record contract. You know what I mean? Suge always had gangs around him since he was in the entertainment business. So that wasn't new. So why was that, 4 or 5 years later, the deciding factor why Dre left? I don't agree with that. You know what was new? When they signed Tupac. And Dre didn't stay with the company a whole year after that. Let's break it down. See, one of the key things you can do is listen to people. And think about what they just said. In that clip, Dr. Dre said it was a problem and wasn't nobody doing nothing about it. You might ask yourself, why didn't you do something about it, Dre? Then you realize he couldn't. Then you ask yourself, who's the somebody that didn't do anything about it? That means he went to Suge Knight. Suge Knight is the somebody, and Tupac was the problem. Dr. Dre went to Suge with his complaints about Tupac for various reasons, and Suge didn't do anything about it. Now, you know what Suge Knight was to Dr. Dre? Once again, Suge Knight was Dr. Dre's problem solver. When he had a problem with Eazy-E, along comes Suge Knight. When he had problems on the streets, Suge Knight. Suge kept niggas off Dre's ass. And that's how we got in good with Dr. Dre. He became a confidant, a business partner, I like this guy. I want this guy around me. Okay, so what happens when your problem solver is now in cahoots with your problem? You fucked. The same things Suge Knight saw in DR.DRE that, like a moth to a flame, right? That attracted him to him. The same qualities, the star qualities. I think I can make you a star. I think this, I think that. It was times 10 with Tupac. Remember I said Tupac made DR.DRE expendable? Yeah. In Suge's eyes, absolutely. Because he was bigger. It's been proven now. The world was going crazy over Tupac. Now, this is what I was talking about when I, started Death Row Records. That's how Suge was feeling. He wasn't trying to hear none of that shit Dre was talking. And for the record, I think, just like the people on this clip, think that it was Suge in Tupac's ear making him attack Dre. It'd be too obvious if, one partner is trying to drive the other partner out the business. So he can get 100% rights to the company. But if you can get somebody else to do it, your hands stay clean and things could go a lot smoother. No lawsuits involved, no buyouts. I think Tupac made DR.DRE's seat very hot at Death Row Records. In all honesty, I don't think Dre wanted Tupac to come to Death Row from the jump. I really don't. Just think about this for a minute, right? DR.DRE did a big chunk of Snoop's first album. I'm talking about production-wise. Years later, when DR.DRE got Eminem, he did damn near every one of Eminem's tracks. Even present day, Kendrick Lamar, DR.DRE is very involved in the production and, what comes out. But when Tupac came to Death Row, out of double CD, DR.DRE had 2 tracks he produced on there. You Can't See Me and California Love, and California Love was already done. Wow. That speaks volumes. A double CD, he had 2 tracks for Tupac. That tells me that DR.DRE wasn't happy about Tupac being there. Out of Suge's own mouth, he told all the artists to give Tupac their best work so they can make this thing special. Everybody was just handing over shit. Dre gave up 2 tracks. And Tupac was excited. Say what you say, but give me that bomb beat from Dre. When he seen Dre wasn't equally as excited to have him there, it wasn't no enthusiasm, he's like, man, fuck this nigga. Fuck this nigga, man. I think Dre probably felt like Suge should have talked it over with him first before he brought somebody like Tupac on board. Because somebody like DR.DRE, and this is Snoop's own words, Dre likes to be comfortable. He likes to run shit his own way, and Tupac changed the atmosphere. I think Dre like a more relaxed atmosphere. He could work at his leisure. He could wear his flip-flops in the studio. You know what I mean? Tupac come through the door. Let's go, goat mouth. Let's go. Turn the machines on. I'm ready to work. I know Dre was like, what the fuck? Pac is very opinionated, started giving his opinion on shit, telling Dre, turn this down. Hey, I think you should take that out. I know Dre was looking like, yo, I can't do this. I can't do this. Now you heard the interviews with like Pillow Talk, where like, different young ladies saying that, Dre was insecure about them being around Tupac, and, Tupac wasn't thrilled about DR.DRE at times. These guys knew each other. I'm not saying they was friends before Death Row, but they definitely had interactions, and, maybe they just didn't hit it off. Some people you just cool, but you don't fuck with. Or some people you fuck with, but they not your friend. I think it was one of those things. I think them two was like co-workers. And I think they could have got along, but I think the way Suge handled the situation, according to her, just drew a wedge in between everybody. And then Dre was doing some shit that Tupac wasn't on board with. Things Tupac thought was suspect. And Tupac brought that shit to the light. And after a while, it was just no turning back. But in my hearts of hearts, I believe it was Tupac that drove DR.DRE away from his own record label. Some people say it was Suge Knight and his new relationship with Miss Chalet. Some people say it was the gang culture being brought to the studio. I think it was Tupac, but I also think it was a combination of everything. But I think Tupac was the cherry on top. Because, like Reggie Wright said, he told me this many times, Dre had plenty of women after Miss Shirley. Matter of fact, he would bring his new girls around while she would be in there with Suge. So, who knows? But all I know is he stayed there for years. And when Tupac came, he couldn't take it no more. Tell me what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to sub to the channel. This is Machiavelli Media. Please look down right now and give this video a thumbs up. Turn on them post notifications so you be the first ones to get it when I drop that shit. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm your homie Gab. I'm signing off. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.